The heart of all creativity is the awakening and flowering of individuality. The mystery and magic of being an individual is to live life in response to that deep call within. The call to become who we dreamed to be. In primal terms, it is the call to discover and realize the divine blueprint in the soul. This is where true freedom awaits us. Being ourselves and doing it full out. So the way you will know that you're not living your soul print and you're not aware of it is that there's no passion. Because if you're living that dream, that soul print, there's passion, there's energy, there's that excitement within you. And you're living your best life. And as I said before, there is no way that it's too late. It is never, ever too late. How many of you are familiar with the movie It's a Wonderful Life? Right, the Christmas. Everyone knows this one. But it's about George Bailey, who's about to commit suicide because he thinks his life has been a waste. And so his family and friends, he's missing, so they're all praying for him. So Clarence, the angel who's looking for his wings, shows up and takes him back on a life review. What would have happened if he had never been born? And Bedford Falls, where he was living, was a totally different place. It was a place where people lived lives of quiet desperation. And also, his younger brother, who he saved from falling through the ice when they were children, died falling through the ice. And that means he was not around to go serve in World War II to save a transport. And all the men on that transport died because George didn't live to save his brother, and his brother didn't live to save all those men in World War II. So our lives, little tiny things that you don't think make any difference, are so precious. They make a difference in someone's life. Even if it's a little smile, a kind word. And so each and every one of us know within ourselves that there's that precious piece of us. We walk around all the time leaving pieces of our DNA on doorknobs, on each other, because we hug each other. You know, so you're leaving pieces of your soul print as well. It's everywhere. And it's also in our stories. And I use the word story advisedly. It's not the whiny stories about what's wrong in your life. It's your core story, what your life is about. So we're sharing our soul connections, our life experiences too. I want to quote a tiny bit of a poem by David White called The Journey. And it says, "Sometimes everything has to be inscribed across the heavens so you can find the one line already written inside of you." So what's already written inside of you will be reflected back to you. Someone has written something new in the ashes of your life. Backing up a bit. Sometimes the bones of the black sticks left when the fire has gone out. Someone has written something new in the ashes of your life. You are not leaving. Even as the light fades quickly, you are arriving. So all these things I'm talking about, you are already doing them. Maybe not consciously, but you are already living your soul print. Because whatever you did, whatever your previous experiences have been, they've gotten you here. And that's a glorious place to be, in this present moment, in this right now, this here. Because how do you communicate and share your soul print? Because what you're doing in essence is you're going from loneliness to loving. You're taking your essence, which is unique, and you're sharing it, and you're opening it up, and you're loving by sharing it, and you're authentic. You're being yourself, and that is so critical. I don't know how many of you remember your college roommates or your high school buddies. I got a call the other day, and we're going to have a mini reunion with my college roommates. But those people resonate with me. They shared a precious time in my life. So I know when I see them, it's like I'm 30 years younger. It's like all that time falls away, and we're connecting in love. Now, I don't see them once every 10 years at the most, but yet there is that soul print of them on my heart. It could be a childhood friend. It could be all those people who've passed through your life. They've exchanged soul prints with you. They are part of you, and you are part of them. We are all connected. And it's on cellular, it's on the energetic, cellular, it's on the emotional level, the spiritual level. It's all those levels. I was talking to my dad on my birthday last Wednesday, and he shared a story with me, which I thought was amazing. And I went, oh, I can actually use it in my talk. And yeah, it's always good when life examples come up. But he, in the early, late 50s, early 60s, he worked at Rocketdyne down in Southern California in the aerospace industry. And he was, let me back up. That's the setting. But he got a phone call. Now my dad's in his 80s. So he got a phone call from a friend of his, in quotes, Oli. So Oli called him, and Oli's in his 90s. And they haven't talked since the early 60s. So here we're talking like 49 years later. And Oli had a friend who tracked down my dad. And so my dad had been the project engineer on a secret, special rocket. It was actually experimental for the Air Force back in the late 50s, early 60s. And then Oli was the project manager. So Oli was in charge of all the money and the budgets. And they were in a situation where they were over budget a little bit. And, they were over budget, and that's just the way it was. And my dad was organizing the project, and they had a rocket they were going to